Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast, bringing you fun and soulful interviews with spiritual teachers with the aim of tuning you in and lighting you up. You can access all episodes of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos and interviews all about finding and following your life purpose. My name is George Lizos. I'm a spiritual teacher, intuitive, the author of Be the Guru and the #1 best-selling Lightworkers Gotta Work. And today I have with me Melissa Ambrosini. Melissa Ambrosini is the best-selling author of Mastering Your Mean Girl and Open Wide and host of the top-rated podcast, The Melissa Ambrosini Show. Described as a self-help guru by Elle magazine, Melissa's straight-talking, no BS style has inspired her millions of followers to get unstuck, take inspired action, and create the vibrant, fulfilling lives they've always craved. An expert on personal growth, Melissa's audio programs are like having your own personal life and spiritual coach in your earbuds, ready to help you get to exactly where you want to be and reminding you of just how amazing you are. Melissa, welcome to the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you here to talk all about your new book, Purposeful, 10 Steps to Overcoming Fear and Living Your Dream Life, which is an Audible original book. Now, before we get started, for people who aren't familiar with your work, what was your journey of coming to becoming purposeful and finding and living your purpose?
So my journey began 10 years ago. Before I was doing what I do now, I was actually a professional dancer. So I danced at the Moulin Rouge in Paris, and I did acting and TV presenting, and ended up in hospital 10 years ago, completely burnt out, incredibly unhappy, depressed, dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, an eating disorder, and literally fried in every area of my life. You know, my friendships were falling apart. The work that I was doing was no longer lighting me up. I was losing my health. And so the universe, to get through to me, needed to give me a really big wake-up call, and it needed to put me in hospital. And it was one of the most challenging times in my life, but the biggest turning point in my life, because it changed everything for me. I wouldn't be where I am now without that rock bottom experience. And when I was in hospital, I had a book given to me that changed my life, and that was Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And this voice that I didn't know at the time, which was my intuition, said to me in hospital, if you get happy and healthy again, you'll live life beyond your wildest dreams. And I had no idea how to get happy or healthy. I just knew that I had to. And I knew that I had to take responsibility for it, because there was a part of me that thought, why is this happening to me? And then there was another part that was like, you are responsible for getting yourself there, and you're the only one that can get you out. And I made it my mission. I made it my absolute mission to get happy and healthy again. And that's how I started on this journey 10 years ago. And it's been, a big, beautiful, expansive journey of continuously putting one foot in front of the other and continuously showing up every day, doing the internal and external work, and showing up every single day.
First of all, I love that you mentioned Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, because that was also the beginning of my spiritual path when I also hit rock bottom, wanting to take my life when I was 15 years old, and then finally seeing that and reading that and learning to love and accept myself. And later on, I went to work for Hay House UK as a way to give back to Louise Hay's work and all the support and the change that helped me create in my life. And it's interesting how we all, well, not all of us, but many of us need to hit this rock bottom to be able to just jump back up to the surface. And what really stood out from what you said is it took one step at a time, one foot in front of the other, which was this realization that you don't have to be perfect all at once or perfect at all. It's just a matter of keep making progress and not reaching for perfection. And I want to shift gears a little bit as to talking about life purpose and whether we all have a life purpose, because so many people ask me, okay, do we all have a purpose, or are just some of us here just for the fun of it, or is it the same? So what is your answer to the question, do we all have life purpose?
I talk about this in my latest book, Purposeful. And the thing that I say is like, there's no mistakes. You're not here by mistake. You're not here by chance. You're here because you are a miracle and because you are meant to be here. Every single human being walking this earth is meant to be here at this time to experience all that this life has to offer for them. And our role here on earth is to grow and evolve. The only thing we take with us when we pass on is the evolution of our soul. And so we all matter. Every single person here matters, and every single person has a purpose. And I talk about this in the book. I personally believe that everyone's purpose is to serve, is to help people. Now, the way that you do that, your vehicle, as I call it, is different for every single person. For example, my mother is a nurse. Her purpose is to serve. The way she does it through her vehicle is being a nurse. That's what lights her up. That's what she loves. That's what puts that fire in her belly. Okay. So then another friend, she's a hairdresser. That's what she loves. That's her vehicle. She loves to serve the world. And the way that she does that is through making people feel incredible with their hair. You know, they come in and she does this beautiful hairstyle and they leave and they feel more confident, and she loves that she gets to play that role. For me, my vehicle, well, my vehicles are, I write books, I have my podcast, I speak and I do live events. I create, beautiful events. I have online programs and products and meditations, and then through my social media and my emails and things like that. So that's how I serve. So every single person has a different vehicle in which they serve, but everyone's here to serve. And some people, their way of serving is being a mama to their 3 children. That's their vehicle in the way that they give back, the way that they show up, the way that they serve. But they're serving. By taking care of 3 children, you are being of service. And I think it's really important not to look at what anyone else is doing and put on your horse blinkers and stay in your own lane and focus on what lights you up. Don't look and see what they're doing and they're doing. What lights you up? And that's the most important thing when we are trying to work out, well, what are we passionate about and what do we want to do with our time here on earth, and how are we going to give back?
That is so comforting to know that we all have a purpose and God didn't just make us for the sake of it. Like, we are here because we bring something unique to this world. And I love that you connected it to our passions and trying to see and follow what lights us up as a way to finding our life purpose. So what would you say are some practical ways to start if someone has zero idea what their life purpose is? I'm like, I don't know, I feel so disconnected. I don't even know what I'm passionate about. I don't even know what lights me up. How can we begin to get in touch with our emotions, to get in touch with our passions when we've spent so many years, our entire life being told by the world, ignore your intuition, just follow these formulas to success, just go to college, pick a subject that makes sense and get a normal job? How can we start to reconnect with our light?
Listen to Purposeful, get Purposeful, because this is exactly what I talk about. And the reason I wrote this is because I was getting that question so much. People were coming up to me in the street and I was getting messages on social media and emails and people saying, Melissa, how do I figure it out? How did you figure it out? How do I figure it out? And so without giving away too much of the book, I'm going to tell you two things that you can do. So the first thing that you can do is go back to your childhood, because your childhood leaves clues. If you don't know what you're passionate about, think back to your childhood. What did I love to do as a child? Because there'll be clues there. Put your detective cap on and go back and go, what did I love to do? What really lit me up? What did when you are doing something and time just does not exist, what was those things that I was doing when that happened to me? So go back to your childhood. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, I want everyone to write down everything that they love to do, every single passion that they have, anything. It could be pottery, it could be yoga, it could be dancing in the kitchen, it could be writing books, it could be singing, whatever. You write down every single passion you have in your life right now. And then you create another column. And in the other column, you put what you want to keep as a hobby. So you can still have these passions, but you put what you want to keep as a hobby. So for example, for me, one of my biggest passions and one of my biggest loves is yoga. But I'm going to keep that in the hobby column and not in the potential could make money from. I don't need to make money from yoga. I just love it. I just want to do it for myself. I don't need to make money from it. So we're going to then split this column. So you create all of your passions and then you split it and you put over in the other column what you want to keep as your hobby. So maybe you love pottery so much, but you don't necessarily want to be a ceramic artist. So you keep that in the hobby. But you love writing. You have so much passion for writing and the written word and literature, and you're like, oh, I would actually like to write a book, and I would like to get paid for it. Like, that would be amazing. So you keep that in that column. So that's the first two things that you can do. And then the third thing is listen to Purposeful.
I love that. Basically, all the examples you mentioned are me. Like, I have my pottery class today and I love yoga, but I'm not going to do it as my life purpose. That is so interesting and so practical. And it's something that everybody can try. Just get out a journal and like a pen and a piece of paper and just let themselves brainstorm. But when it comes to the fears and the limiting beliefs that we have that keep us from following our life purpose. Let's say we have our life purpose. I'm like, I've got my list. It's not pottery. It's not yoga. It's not singing. It's basically writing a book or something else. We are faced with so many fears, so many self-sabotaging limiting beliefs that come up from our ego to tell us you're not good enough, you're not smart enough. There are so many other people doing this work. In your experience, what are the top fears and frustrations that keep coming up for people, and how do we overcome them?
Mm-hmm. So I'll answer the first question about the top common ones first,
Yes.
and then I'll tell you how we can overcome them. The most common ones that I hear and that I've experienced in my life are, it's been done before. So, it's been done before, or there's already so many people doing that. They don't need another life coach or another yoga teacher or another hairdresser, whatever. So that's the first one. The second one is, who am I to do this? Who am I to do this? And then the next one is, no one will come or no one will buy it. No one will, no one will come to my event, or no one will buy my book, or no one will buy my yoga gear or whatever. And then the fourth one is, I don't know enough. So what you said, that I'm not smart enough. And all of these limiting fear-based beliefs are just from your inner mean girl or your inner bad boy for you. And this is the ego. And this is the games that your ego plays to keep you in fear, to keep you stuck in fear and darkness. And I wrote a whole book on it called Mastering Your Mean Girl, my first book. And I've done a TED talk on it, on how to overcome it. So maybe we can link to the book and the
Yes.
TED talk in the show notes. And I talk you through in my TED talk how to master your inner critic. And I literally give you my 4-step cast process on how to do that. That is how I move through fear. It's a very powerful 4-step process. Do you want me to talk you through it now, or?
I'm going to post it in the show notes so that people get the full experience.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, perfect. So let's say we found our life purpose, we've overcome our fears, and we're taking action towards them. How do we infuse our life purpose into a daily reality? In my experience, when I also help people find and define their life purpose. So I usually do these sessions where by the end of it, people have a definition of their life purpose. And then they're like, okay, now what? What do I do with this? I have this purpose that feels bigger than myself, that excites me, but at the same time scares me. I'm overcoming those fears. I'm taking action. How do I not lose touch with my life purpose by living it on a day-to-day basis and not just have it as this ideal in the sky that's looking down on me and basically overwhelming me and intimidating me? How do we make our life purpose real?
I think when you make your life, and when you understand that your life purpose is to be of service, like that's why we're here, is to help and to share our gifts with the world. And the way that we do it, the vehicles are different, whether it's coaching or whatever. You are going to wake up every morning, and when your focus is on outside of you and helping other people, it's going to automatically be infused into your daily life, because you're going to have that fire in your belly, that drive in your belly to get up and want to help and want to serve. I find when I was really depressed, that was when I was so focused on myself. I was so focused on me, on what's wrong with my life and what's wrong with me. And I had a really loud inner critic. And as soon as I stopped focusing so much on myself and started putting my intention on helping other people, I had like this serious firecracker put up me. And I was just like, I just want to, help, and I want to do beautiful work in the world. So I think when you make it bigger than yourself, or it's even about your children, which is bigger than you, you take that attention off yourself and you make it about helping other people, you're automatically going to want to infuse it into your daily life, your daily reality, because it does put that fire in your belly.
Oh, wow. So it's basically shifting from ego to the many, so from I to the we, and allowing that to basically disarm our ego at the same time, and have it be a daily aspect into our life where every single day, whatever we're doing, whatever activity we're doing, we're focusing on how am I serving right now? How am I serving with doing this yoga practice with myself? Maybe I'm serving in some bigger way to like raise the vibration of the world. How am I serving with going to the grocery stop? The grocery store, like saying hi to the cashier is a way of serving. So it's a beautiful way of infusing that into our daily reality. Thank you for sharing this with us. Now, when it comes to staying on purpose and not self-sabotaging, I was wondering whether you could share with us 1 or 2 practical ways we can use to ensure that we don't relapse, that we don't go back to our old habits of forgetting about our life purpose and falling into the old limiting patterns and beliefs and into the stereotypical structures that exist in this world.
I think one of the best ways to stay on purpose kind of follows on from what I was just saying, is like making it bigger than yourself.
Yes.
Making it bigger than yourself, making it really about helping others, or taking care of your children or the elderly or your parents or whatever it is. So making it, that's a great way to stay on your purpose, is to make it bigger than yourself, and write that down on a post-it note and stick it on your fridge or your computer or something. And that will help you, or even beside your bed. So when you wake up in the morning, it's the first thing that you see. That's going to really help you stay motivated and stay on your path. And then with self-sabotage, how we stop that and how we become aware of it is by doing that cast process that I talk about in my TED talk, because the self-sabotage is your inner critic. It's your inner mean girl, and they will pop up and they will say all the most nasty things to you that you can imagine. And so you do really need to cultivate a regular practice where you're becoming aware of what's going on up here. I think a daily meditation practice is really helpful for this. So I practice meditation twice a day for 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon. And then I try and infuse meditation into my daily life. Like, I try and be really present with everything that I'm doing. And what those two check-ins for me do is it allows everything to get quiet, and it allows me to become aware of any self-sabotaging thoughts that might be there. And then I take myself through that 4-step cast process, and then I move on. And so that's why I'm such a big believer in a daily meditation practice to really help check in. It's kind of like you would take a shower once or twice a day. You would brush your teeth once or twice a day to clean the outside of you, to wash the dirt off the outside. Meditation is like an internal shower. It cleans the inside. And so it can get rid of any of those self-sabotaging, fear-based, limiting beliefs that sometimes are like mud on the inside of you.
I love that. And meditation is something I practice as well every single day. And I love how it's, first of all, it's a very natural, easy process that brings up to the surface whatever needs to be released so we can deal with our triggers rather than let us control us. Melissa, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and sharing these powerful tools and wisdom with us. Melissa's new Audible original book, Purposeful, 10 Steps to Overcoming Fear and Living Your Dream Life, is available now on Audible. Melissa, thank you so much. Wishing you a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you, my love.